Will I know which camera we're turning to when we're turning to camera?
I think, hey, now that WTTW is
horizontal or
so it's like I know of it. I don't have a part that he changed things because he did change it like
yeah.
Changed it. Yeah. Jim never changed it. It's like I'm gonna give you a copy of it. Give you a copy of the I think it's like maybe 4 to 5 chapters.
We'll do one more.
I want to read Jason continue. I want to read it.
Yeah. Just on those 3 chapters. Yeah, because the guys, two of the guys that, sat down asking like if they can finish it, and then it's a group of them, they're gonna just add stuff to it. You know, it's what it is. I don't know.
yeah.
Anybody that's like put the idea together that Michael had.
From what I gathered, it was basically about
I think everybody
changing the names.
Oh yeah. It's I guess if you like read the story,
Pick up where
but it's really like the names fictional, like everything's just like really fictional, and all in they come in advance. So it's totally different. Like he's like now he's picking up so I need to see it. It's just a whole vibe. Like he's like it's changed.
We're gonna get started.
I'm used to sitting up
Yes.
now.
Well, we are.
Yeah,
Do you want to come a little in so that this is viewable for the cameras? Or protecting whatever you think. What do you guys? Do you have any directions for us as camera crew? Alright, we gotta try to talk loud.
Oh, CBS News. Okay. Oh,
I ran through it. Yours should come more from the heart. Back to the lawsuit. I don't know what they're gonna do. Or just clips or.
Where's Samantha? 7 minutes to that.
I don't want to block you, and I definitely don't want to block the shot. How's that? You good? All right, great.
No. We don't have those.
I was about to ask, what is it?
We're low budget.
Oh.
We're low budget. I did this wrong. You guys have give me 1 second to get everybody situated. Phone, is it recording?
You want me to hold it so you can tape it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be
Thank
great.
you. Yeah.
Thank you. Got it?
Yep.
I'm gonna put another piece of tape on it once this is. hang
Yeah,
tight
that's
for 1
not
second.
good.
They're shy. It's a voice.
No, no worries. Where are you at? I don't want to tape your thumbs.
Don't tape my thumbs.
You're gonna need those for later.
Exactly.
All right, you can let it go. I'm gonna give it one more piece.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's actually, hang on. It's that silicone.
Oh, yeah,
fancy
the
case.
cover.
It's recording the audio so she could transcribe it.
Okay.
All right, let me raise this up just a little bit. Who's tall? Yeah. So I should have did this first. You know what? Just project if you can.
Okay.
Oh, actually.
Boy. Just act like it's my class. Like I'm talking to students and parents.
Educating.
Just say and spell your name and titles and all that when you get on the mic.
Oh, great.
And try to wait for the gunshot if you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Actually, I'm going to stop real quick. Can the two of you with the signs go on this side? It's okay if you stand in front a little bit. We're going to have to keep that in mind. All right, a little tighter.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tara Tollner, T-E-R-A-H-T-O-L-L-N-E-R, and I represent Shanice Jones Broadway, Michael Broadway's wife. Today, my law firm, Kaplan & Grady, filed a lawsuit on behalf of Miss Jones Broadway because Michael's death was entirely preventable. On Juneteenth of this year, in the midst of a heat wave, Michael died of an asthma attack exacerbated by heat stress. He was only 51 years old. When Michael began struggling to breathe in his cell, his friends in neighboring cells pleaded for staff to help him. Soon, incarcerated men all throughout the housing unit pleaded and joined in yelling for medical attention. Defendants in our lawsuit knew that Michael was in severe respiratory distress. They knew, as we all do, that that can be fatal. But they did not call 911, and they did not call a code 3, which would have initiated an emergency medical response in the prison. It took about 15 minutes for a nurse to even get to the building. But when she arrived, she refused to go upstairs to Michael's cell. She said it was too hot up there. Now, Michael's cell was very hot, and it was not hot on accident. Defendant Warden Charles Truitt and Stateville's chief engineer Jeremiah Daly knew about the myriad problems at Stateville. Warden Truitt and engineer Daly knew specifically about the dangers of excessive heat in the housing units. They walked the galleries themselves, they read the reports, and they saw the temperature readings. But what did they do to keep people at Stateville safe? Nothing. In Michael's housing unit, all the windows were nailed shut. He actually had a fan right in front of his cell, but it was padlocked and turned off. Michael and others told Warden Truitt directly about these problems. Face to face, the warden told them that he would fix these issues, but he didn't. And because he didn't, Michael died. On the day that Michael died, the nurse did eventually slowly walk up the stairs. By that time, she knew that Michael was already unresponsive. Nevertheless, she did not bring any medical equipment, not even the simple handheld ventilation devices that should be in every emergency medical bag at Stateville. More critical minutes passed while Michael was unconscious before finally 911 was called. And then Michael was carried down the treacherous stairs in his friend's bed sheet because the stretcher that was available had no straps and no handles. Soon after, Michael was dead. Michael helped countless people in the 51 years of his life, but when he needed help from the people who were entrusted to help him, whose job it was to help him, he was failed at every turn. Defendants' unconscionable delays and their refusal to provide adequate medical care cost Michael his life. I was fortunate enough to have known Michael. When I was in law school, I took a class at Stateville. I learned alongside him, I laughed with him, and I was in awe of his strength and his warmth in his brilliance and his optimism. I witnessed firsthand the joy that he brought to everyone around him. Michael was loved by so many people, many of whom are here today. Those who knew him in the free world, and those who met him while he was incarcerated in his capacity as a student, a mentor, a friend, an author. People across the world were inspired by Michael when they saw his graduation speech, as he became part of the very first cohort of incarcerated people to earn a bachelor's degree from a top 10 university. Somehow, he reached this landmark achievement in the notoriously oppressive walls of Stateville. Michael had so much left to achieve. There was so much more he wanted to do. There was so much more that he wanted to offer to us and to the world. Multiple correctional and medical staff are responsible for Michael's death, and they should be held accountable for their abject indifference to his life. But the systems, too, are at fault. Michael, like so many others, could not survive IDOC's woefully inadequate medical system. That system is run by Wexford Health Sources, which systematically prioritizes profits over the provision of adequate medical care. I want to share a short statement from Anthony Ellers, who was forced to watch helplessly through a handheld mirror as his close friend Michael took his last breaths in the cell next door. This is Anthony. Had they done the bare minimum of any type of medical response, Michael Broadway would still be alive today. And the fact that he's not is symptomatic of the overall health system in IDOC. It's not confined to Stateville, it's how IDOC views the people that they are supposed to care for. We are less than. We don't matter. That's how IDOC does business. Michael's family filed this lawsuit against the Illinois Department of Corrections, against Wexford Health Sources, and against the individuals personally responsible to hold them accountable for Michael's death. This can no longer be how IDOC does business. We reject the notion that the lives of incarcerated people don't matter, that Michael's life didn't matter, that Michael was less than. Michael mattered, his life was precious, and his family deserves justice. Now I'm going to turn it over to Shanice if she feels up to saying a couple words.
Just to echo what Tara said, is that our family is devastated behind the loss of Michael, and that we do want to see accountability from IDOC and Wexford, that this doesn't happen to any other families.
And Pharrell, do you want to say a couple words?
I just wanted to say I think it's a travesty that they continue to let these doors of IDOC in this Stateville Correctional Center be open. They let my man suffocate in this place. He died and it didn't have to happen this way. These state people, they know what they're doing when they treat you like animals. And they treated my brother in this manner. And I miss him so much. And I miss him dearly. Please, shut this place down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you spell his name? Could you? Thanks, Pharrell.
My name is Pharrell Rell, as everybody call me. My government is Terrell Vaughn, TERRELLVAUGHN. Me and Michael Broadway grew up together. We became close friends and we became brothers after that. All this time, have Michael been in his penitentiary? We talked each and every week since he's been gone. We never missed a week unless they was on lockdown or anything. Like I said, I've been knowing Mike my entire life. We was children together. We went through grammar school and everything together. All his brothers and sisters and family and nieces and nephews, they're my family as well.
Okay, this is Michael's son. Oh, I'm sorry.
Younger
I
brother.
thought I saw. That's Michael's
How
son.
you doing? My name's Brian Broadway. I'm his little brother. I was one of the last ones he spoke to the day of his passing. He had called me around 3 o'clock at like 3:02 exactly. And he was like, I'm going to call you back, little bro. I'm like, okay. And an hour later, I guess inmates was calling guys on the streets. And they called like, man, check on your brother. And I'm like, I just talked to him an hour ago. What could be wrong? They're like, man, call and check on your brother. And when they call, I call. We couldn't get no response or nothing from nobody. So it's kind of ironic because that was my hero. That was my big brother. And he's very protective of me and my whole family. And he is truly missed. It's been hard for our family since then. And we're just trying to make it through. But this prison, it shouldn't be. It should be more care involved with these inmates. You know, it's a tragedy, and these people I love too. You know, no matter what the situation is and circumstances that people go through, they are still human beings and should be treated with some dignity and some type of respect. During his incarceration, he's done nothing but positive things. So in that manner, I pray that through this situation, no one else has to deal with this and go through these problems. So that's all I got to say. Thank you all.
Okay, and we can open it up to any questions for me and Shanice.
So I haven't gotten completely through the complaint, but I thought I read something about the governor wanted to initially try and get it shut down because of how dangerous it is.
Yes.
Is that still in the works, or can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, so a couple of months, I think 2 months after Michael Broadway died, a federal judge ordered that Stateville be closed very quickly. And unfortunately, that order came too late for Michael. But many of the men at Stateville were transferred to various prisons around the state. And my understanding is that the only people that remain at Stateville right now are those incarcerated in the healthcare unit here.
And obviously we know the outcome that you're looking for, but can you just kind of explain a little bit more what you would like to eventually happen?
Yeah, I mean, we want justice for Michael. We want the IDOC and the other defendants to be accountable for their actions, and that means being accountable to Michael Broadway's family. I also hope that they will take this lawsuit as an opportunity to learn more about what went wrong, to change their systems in IDOC and in Wexford, to change their policies, to make sure that they discipline employees who don't care about the lives of incarcerated people enough to do their jobs. In this case, Michael Broadway's, the correctional staff involved were not only not disciplined, as far as we know, they were given awards. They were given team commendations for their actions that day that led to his death. So there are a lot of changes to be made. We hope this lawsuit changes those, and most of all, to get some justice for Michael Broadway's family in particular.
How are you doing? I mean, I know this is a lot to take in, but can you kind of tell us and let people know how you are handling this?
Well, definitely staying prayerful. Day to day, I can't really, every day is different. So just one day at a time, and just hoping that our family gets justice for Michael's death, and that they administer health care better throughout the system, because we still have loved ones and family that's incarcerated, and we don't want to see this happen, what our family is going through, happen to anyone else. Yes.
Shanice, Stateville there's plans to rebuild it, but rebuild it differently. What are your hopes with that? Do you wish that it was built differently, not rebuilt? Like,
If they rebuilding that is built to code, that there's the proper structure where people can live humanely and that they have the adequate health care needed and that's addressed immediately versus where Michael, they just sat around and watched him suffer.
Tara, I think this would be a question for you or maybe others. Is it your opinion that the kind of behavior that is outlined in the complaint is widespread among IDOC staff, even at facilities other than Stateville?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, my law firm, Kaplan and Grady, has several cases against the Illinois Department of Corrections and Wexford Health Sources because this problem is systemic. Men die and women die in IDOC all of the time when their deaths could be prevented. More people suffer needlessly in all of these prisons. And to Shanice's point, you know, we need these prisons to be safe. We need them to be up to code, but there is excess capacity in the Illinois Department of Corrections. You know, in my view, we don't need a new prison because not just Stateville, all of these prisons are killing people.
Could you repeat that?
So
Favorite aspects of Michael's personality?
His personality, he was fun-loving. He was very straightforward in when he spoke to people. Education was very important to him, and that the family would be educated. All of us. He was just very outgoing. He supported his family. He supported his friends, and he was an outgoing person.
Anything else, anybody? Okay, thank you everyone for being here, you all and everyone who attended to support Michael. I think it's really important that these issues get attention, and that's where we start so that everyone knows that Michael's life mattered.
Thank you.
That was so fun.